So our audit is a professional project, and I'm going to keep using the word project because when people are studying auditing, the picture of what an audit is not something that they're comfortable with. So when they develop in their mind a picture of what an audit consists of, obviously this is something that they're busy learning about. But when we talk about projects, most people are comfortable with projects of different shapes, sizes. A project, we understand, start, finish, you have a goal, you have an object, you have to get stuff done, there's deadlines, etc., etc. So I'm going to keep referring to an audit as a project. But as we've spoken about, it is a professional project. What does that really mean? And this is really important to us because it sets the foundation of the details and the law of audits, if you will, or where our audit processes come from and where we're told and how we actually develop our audit. So what does it mean when we talk about it as a professional project? First, when anyone is offering a professional service, forget auditors, okay? When anyone is offering a professional service, there are certain things that are inherent in that. There are certain things that people expect. And one of those, obviously, is quality and trust. So when I go to the doctor, I believe that the doctor knows what he's doing. And I believe that the doctor can help me. And I trust that the doctor is qualified to do what he does. And I'm horrified. And we're all horrified if we find out that a doctor has been practicing when they actually lost their license, or they didn't have the license to do what they should be doing, or someone went to a doctor for plastic surgery and the person wasn't qualified. We're horrified. Why are we so horrified? Because we trust the profession. We trust the medical profession will not allow people to operate and practice as doctors if they don't know what they're doing. The important thing here is that it means that we as people are placing trust in the profession, okay? We're placing trust in the medical profession, not the person. When I go to the doctor, I don't ask him what his qualifications are. I don't ask him what he got on the exam when he was studying colds and flu. I don't ask him where his medical degree is. I trust that he wouldn't be a doctor, wouldn't have a practice if the profession didn't believe he was capable of doing that, right? So any professional service, we believe that they have quality, and we believe and we trust that they can do the job that they say they can. The services that we get from them, we believe should be consistent and should be of a high quality. I'm paying a professional for a professional service, therefore it should be consistent, it should be high quality, and it should conform to some kind of professional standard. We know that when you go to doctors, we talk about getting first, second, third opinions or whatever the case is, but we do believe that there should be a standard where someone says, this is the level that we operate at, and there's a professional standard. When you do XYZ job, this is how you do it. Professionals will always do these things. So for any professional service, we expect that there's quality, trust, and the services themselves should be of high quality, should be consistent, and they should conform to some kind of professional standard. The profession itself then, if we keep talking about a professional service and it should conform to a professional service and someone trusts the profession, not the person, then what is that profession? What is a profession? The professional body, or the profession, comes from a professional body that regulates and governs the members of that body. So if you join the medical profession, you are joining a medical institution, a medical body. And that body governs you as a doctor, and it governs and regulates how you can operate, where you can operate, excuse the pun, where you can run your practice, where you can work, where you can open your offices, what you can do. It governs and sets and adopts the standards or guidelines for your performance as a professional. So any professional needs to belong to a professional body, and they will adopt, or that professional body will adopt standards, guidelines for performance. The body, the profession itself, will set requirements for the members. You can only be a doctor if you have achieved this academic qualification, if you have done this practical work, internships, traineeships, articles, whatever you want to call them. There are certain practical work requirements before somebody can be a professional, and then a profession generally adopts a code of conduct that says people in this profession are expected to behave in a certain way, they are expected to perform in a certain way, conform to these codes, ethics, standards, technical levels, etc., etc. So a profession, there are three components: academic requirements, practical work requirements, and then a code of conduct. Okay, so when we talk about a profession, a professional project, a professional service, I think you can start to see that it's a little bit more than just saying, oh, professional is somebody who knows what they're doing, or a professional is someone who gets paid a lot of money, right? So now when we think about our professional project, the word professional means that that project has to be done according to certain guidelines and standards, and that people who do that project, people who do that audit, must have completed certain academic requirements, must have completed certain practical work requirements, and must conform to a code of conduct. They will belong to a professional body, and there's dozens of different professional bodies for different things. They will belong to a professional body that will govern how they operate, how they perform that audit, and that governing body will adopt the standards for performance. So a person who's running an audit does not decide how to do that audit for themselves in entirety. They don't look at this and go, I don't want to be, I don't want to do what everyone else does. I want to be creative. If they belong to that auditing profession in that country, then they have to pay attention to what that auditing profession in their country says they will be doing according to how to do the standard, those guidelines, those standards of performance. So it sounds, we're building on this complexity, we're building on this project. It is still very much a project, but now when we add the words professional to the front of it, it's a professional project, we can start to see that this is just a little bit more than a project that needs to be done. And there's a lot of requirements, a lot of competency, high-level requirements, and we've got to make sure that we understand what a profession actually is, because we're going to be spending a lot of time, and we have to spend a lot of time talking about what these standards are, what these guidelines for performance are. If this is a professional project and it must be run according to certain standards, you're going to have to know what those standards are, what those guidelines of performance are.